Well. Good morning. I thought I'd do an old background just because. How do I get rid of the logo? Logo. Go away, logo. Hey, logo's gone. Good, whatever time of day it is, I decide to release this. Let's kick this thing on. Let's get a little nicotine fix. There you go. Free Max. I want a cigarette. I want a real fucking cigarette. Hey, let's have a little fun. All right, we're going to share a video file, which is actually a happy birthday to you, squash tomatoes and stew. Where'd I put it? I wish I was an expert at keeping files like Alf. That was me. No Part Studios. All right. Oh, before we get into it, I think there's a media asset in this one. Here it is.
But I can't see the...
Well, you see what you want to see. Tell me, did you ever see dinosaur?
No.
Well, did you ever see pterodactyl?
No.
Well, did you ever want to see a pterodactyl?
I guess not.
Well, that's it. You see what you want to see, and you hear what you want to hear.
You see what you want to see and hear what you want to hear. Quite often here on YouTube, you see and hear what the host wants you to see and hear. This is from recently, but it's recording something from a long time ago. In YouTube time, ancient history.
And it's going to sound like, you're talking.
All right. Let me make that big. I don't like this setup. I'm not real good at the StreamYard stuff. Nope, not that one. I want that one. I want that one. I want me to be smaller and that one to be bigger. Fuck it. Leave it as it is. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm tiny. Oh, I like that. I'm nitnoy. I'm itty bitty. I'm microscopic. Yes, I know. I know, dear. Okay. All right. Okay. On the left is, according to the label, Alabama fugitive and lifelong felon. Yeah, you recognize him. That's Michael Kaiser, also known on YouTube as Fraud at Wrangler, currently known as prisoner number, I don't know his number. Give to his commissary fund. No, don't give to his commissary fund. On the right side is J.J. Scarborough. He is the elected county jailer of Meade County, Kentucky. Yeehaw, Kentucky. Hell, Chris number 23 might privacy strike me for this or copyright strike me, because even though this is something that aired on Fraud at Wrangler a long time ago in a galaxy far away, I'm actually getting this from Chris number 23's recent premiere.
About the good old days whenever we.
Who do I remind you of? Okay. Yeah. All right.
Can sit back and go, you remember that guy in Rivette? Yeah. That guy that never took a bath.
Why am I focused on Fraud at Wrangler? Oh, that's right. Why am I doing Fraud at Wrangler right now? Because.
But I can't see the...
Well, you see what you want to see. Tell me, did you ever see dinosaur?
No.
Well, did you ever see pterodactyl?
No.
Well, did you ever want to see a pterodactyl?
I guess not.
Well, that's it. You see what you want to see, and you hear what you want to hear.
Yeah, you see and hear what I want you to see and hear, or what Chris number 23 wants you to see here, or help, actually, whatever you want to see in here. The guy on the left, once upon a time, for a long time, claimed that he was a veteran. That's important because certain people in certain circles, including me, opined he no veteran. He didn't make it through basic training. So what exactly is a veteran? According to the Veterans Administration, and yes, there are exceptions to the rule, according to the VA, 24 months of continuous active duty service and being discharged without a dishonorable discharge. You have to be discharged under honorable conditions. There are extenuating circumstances, like if you're injured in basic training, injured to where you cannot serve and your ability to work is diminished. That's not the case with this guy. I mean, he did not make it through basic training, not once, but twice, and we all know the lore behind that. But his claim to veteranhood was, I believe, staff sergeant. I believe, I may have it wrong, 2 Purple Hearts, 3 tours, or is it 2 tours and 3 Purple Hearts? I don't remember. The big story was I was doing 70 miles an hour in an up-armored Humvee, which is impossible. And we went from 70 to 0 like that because I got hit by an RPG and I broke my leg. And I walked around that leg for quite a while. I don't remember how long quite a while was. And as a staff sergeant, and finally my first sergeant says, "You need to get that looked at." And very innocent, "Yes, top." Staff sergeants don't talk to their first sergeants like, "Yes, top." Like something. Okay. All right. Anyway, we all call this bullshit. It was bullshit. Let's see what else this has to do with
I
it.
went to the federal pen and got shanked. Yeah, I remember him. You remember his little boyfriend, Taco Terry, he had tied up with duct tape? Yeah, I remember him.
Actually, I think I do remember someone named Taco Terry. Anyway, the jailer's talking about how prisoners talk about things, remember things, but that's neither here nor there. Trying to get back to my point. You see and hear what the host wants you to see and hear.
I just think you're going to be around YouTube for a while.
I appreciate that.
Obviously.
Oh, that was not a good prophecy, JJ. I think you're going to be on YouTube for a while. Well, here he is in reruns. Motherfucker can't even watch YouTube, I believe, in prison. Can you watch YouTube in prison? I don't know. But this recording is coming to us from For Public Safety, the real For Public Safety, not the fake For Public Safety where John Scarborough owns the channel and the LLC and listed as one of John's bitches is Christopher Ruff. Totally different story.
Me, cocksucker? Please say yes.
And that was the voice of Generally Specific. He was kind of angry at one of his guests. And they're taking this as a threat. When I just heard, and what you just heard was, "Do you want to meet me? Please say yes." Okay, not in the tone of voice I just did, but please say yes is asking you to voluntarily agree to do something. That does not qualify as a threat. You may feel threatened by it. I don't know.
So I'm over here, and he's claiming that I was making I was making threats to the installation, and that I wanted to go there and fight soldiers.
But furthermore, GS, he claimed that you were threatening him, Chris Ryder, For Public Safety. That's Chris number 23, if I have my Chris count correctly. He's claiming that you threatened the installation itself, and that he's trying to spin it to make it sound like you're threatening him, Chris Ryder. Of course, Chris Ryder likes to play things out of context. Not too long ago, Chris Ryder and I had a phone conversation while I'm driving. I'm not really focused on the conversation as much as I am keeping it between the lines and keeping within the speed limit, making sure I'm within the New York State border, because Pennsylvania has some different rules about recording. So I'm not entirely focused on the call, but Chris Ryder, after saying he wasn't going to play it, he played a portion of it of me yelling and screaming. And of course, he wants you to hear a rageful Finkel, and he plays it out of context. You all know this story. Not that long ago, was it?
During a live stream.
Meet me outside of fucking Fort Knox.
Yeah,
See
blah,
this
blah,
shit
blah,
in my
blah,
face,
blah, blah,
and
blah,
I'll
blah,
fucking
blah,
skull
blah,
drag your ass
blah,
right to
blah,
the
blah,
fucking wood line.
I'll skull drag your ass. And okay, I missed that part before. Okay. But if you choose to meet me and choose to do these things, the claim is that I would be victorious, basically. I'm inviting you. If you accept the invitation, I'll win. Okay. Let us continue.
None of that was said.
Right. None of the stuff about attacking Fort Knox was said, and none of the stuff about attacking Chris Ryder, Chris number 23, was said. That snippet was in regards to another Chris, and we're losing track of Chris's because there's a lot of Chris's on YouTube.
None of that was said.
Front gate of Fort Knox, Kentucky.
He fabricated whole cloth a story to try to gin up a response from armed people that he would send to my door as a response during a live stream.
Now, Jeff's going to say I'm sweeping for GS, and my good buddy Muxer is going to say I'm white knighting for GS. But here it is, Ryder trying to get us to think that Ryder's being threatened and a military installation's being threatened. What's really happening is GS is inviting someone, and if they choose to take up that invitation, he's going to be victorious. But there's a few more that what I've been catching on before, and the reason I catch on before is because we don't always get the full context. Let's see what that is.
During a live stream, knowing that what he was saying was false.
Wanna fucking meet? You wanna fucking meet me, cocksucker?
Do you want to meet me? Expletive.
Please say yes.
Please say yes. I'm begging you to agree. I'm not threatening you. I'm begging you to agree. Am I white knighting? Am I sweeping? No, that's literally what he says. I am begging you to agree. I'm mad at you. I want us to work it out a certain kind of way. I'm begging you to accept my invitation.
Dog, you've already threatened me before. Give me a break.
Right
Give me a
outside.
break.
Okay, the other Chris is saying you've threatened me before. I don't know the context of that. Fair. Maybe he did threaten him, but this is not a threat. This is an invitation. It's an angry invitation. It's an invitation. Sounds like he's hoping it will turn out to be some kind of violence. And it's a prediction that if you accept the invitation, he will win. Let's continue.
Main gate.
Knowing that what he was saying was false. That's called.
Actually, Jess, I'm not so sure how much Chris Ryder, Chris number 23, knows is false and how much he's just getting confused in his little brain. I think there's a little bit of both. I think sometimes he knows he's lying and sometimes he's just getting it wrong. And it's really getting harder and harder to tell which is which.
Swatting. So, and they can sugarcoat it any way they want. They could try to put lipstick on a pig all they want. It's still a pig with lipstick. Period.
Having a couple of officers very politely knocking on your door to
What? I guess somebody said you were live on YouTube making threats for Fort Knox.
No.
The report from the cop is you're live on YouTube and you're making threats against Fort Knox. The cop is going off of a false report. The cop is going off the bullshit idea that Generally Specific is some kind of terrorist or wannabe terrorist. At no point did Generally Specific ever claim he wanted to harm Fort Knox. When you tell a cop that somebody in your jurisdiction is making a threat towards a military installation, the result is unpredictable. In hindsight, Chris, number 23, that's for public safety, and other people like Hill Pirate Studios, also known as Alf, also known as Jeff. Some people call him Senior Hefe. They're making fun of how gentle this was. But the truth is, before it actually happens, when Chris number 23 makes that fucking phone call, he wants the cops to be unpredictable. And we've seen it a million times on YouTube, on the news, in newspapers. Cops overreact. And I do believe Chris Ryder wanted the cops to overreact. Now, it's playing well into their hand that they didn't. Now they get to tease GS that it was just a gentle check on you. And, that it turned out these are very good cops. They didn't overreact. But they're reacting to the false claim that GS is making threats against a military installation. And as we just shown you, you see and hear what I want you to see and hear. Actually, if you play it back, it's exactly what was said. He's inviting someone to meet him to work issues out in a way that sounds like GS hopes it will be angry, just like for public safety, hope these cops would overreact. And, I understand the anger in this because GS just ain't no dummy. He realizes that these cops could have overreacted and they're going off a report where the reporter wanted them to overreact.
Is this what a man of God
I'll
needs,
have no
right?
fucking excuse. It's a fucking 5-minute drive from my house.
Okay, he's self-doxing. He's within 5 minutes of Fort Knox, which he's so far not threatened Fort Knox.
Oh, okay.
I will have no excuse not to show up, tough guy. Fucking name the time and the date, you cocksucker.
Name the time and date, expletive. He's literally asking the other guy to choose to go meet him. He's not threatening. He's asking the other guy to make that choice. This is not a threat. I don't care what kind of MP schooling you went to. I don't care how little you did your job as an MP. It's just common sense. If you think this is a threat, why isn't GS in jail for communicating a threat? I'll tell you why. Because it's not a fucking threat. Call it white knighting, call it sweeping, call it what you will. The fact is, you guys want this guy in legal trouble, and you can't make it stick because it won't stick. Not unlike some of the predecessors to GS going after for public safety. They want a certain result. They're not getting it. That first guy I showed you, fraud at Wrangler, he got very pissed off that attempts to get for public safety in jail kept getting delayed. In fact, I think he had some kind of spasm over it. All right, let's continue.
I'll bring my DD-214. You fucking bring yours. And
Oh my God, that's a threat. We're going to compare DD-214s. Oh my God, how dare you? That's not a threat, man. That's comparing military service. Am I white knighting? Am I sweeping? No. He's challenging this other guy to compare DD-214s. All right.
then, you know what? Maybe we can go to the fucking pit. And
Then maybe we can go to the pit. Again, the other guy would have to volunteer, choose to go to the pit. One time I heard a piece of this. I'm pretty sure he said, you can follow me into Fort Knox. Follow me. You can make a deliberate choice to follow me. These are not threats. There may be hopes for a physical confrontation.
we can fucking wrestle in the pit. And
Wrestling. I don't care what kind of state laws there are. It is not illegal to wrestle. He's literally threatening that if the other asking the other guy to accept the challenge, compare DD-214s, voluntarily follow him to the pit, and then wrestle. Ooh, that's scary. Wrestling has certain rules that, you just pin the guy down and you win. Ding, ding. All right, wrestling.
fucking see who the fucking tough guy is. I'll take my fucking 50% disabled fucking combat vets.
On there, I'll have to redact that.
This surprised the hell out of me. This letter I am looking at now in my corrupt memory was being shown at a post office. Finkel was wrong. Finkel can admit it when he was wrong. I can't find the original, for public safety kept it. Well, it's his video. Here we have the original cease and desist, however, to be honest, I don't know how to pronounce it or say it either, or spell it. I thought this was at the post office. This is at Meade County Jail. He's trying to hand deliver it. So what I reported earlier was inaccurate. It wasn't an intentional lie. It was inaccurate. Unless there's something very similar out there. He's not going to take it into the post office and put it in an envelope. For some reason, that's in my memory. We have corrupt memories, but this is not what happens here.
But actually, I'm not going to show the paper like this because I'll take a picture of it and do a redacting. But it says, Dear Mr. J.J. Scarborough, which is...
And that, in the reflection in the background, apparently is GS. He was actually there when this letter was delivered by hand. This isn't the mailing, and you know what? I very well could have been wrong about the mailing. I may be confusing that image of him holding the letter in front of him and that building. I didn't catch the attention to detail before that GS is there. GS went along with this guy before GS realized that the guy is a fucking liar. And when you have a repeat, his shadow's here too. And yeah, by the way, GS is nowhere near as short. He's farther back than Tiffany, and he's taller being farther back. So yeah, we've been misinterpreting his size. Actually, the little man is aggravating. His name is Jeff. But let's continue. When I saw this, I'm like, my memory is wrong. Okay.
John Justin Scarborough,
Yeah, GS is considerably further back than Tiffany.
Hereby notified to cease and desist, slander, and or libel.
Oh, there's GS right there. Okay. Okay.
There we go, baby.
And this is Alf. This is Jeff. Jeff is going to also take things out of context and show you what he wants you to see because...
But I can't see the...
Well, you see what you want to see. Tell me, did you ever see dinosaur?
No.
Well, did you ever see pterodactyl?
No.
Well, did you ever want to see a pterodactyl?
I guess not.
Well, that's it. You see what you want to see, and you hear what you want to hear.
Or you see and hear what we, the host, want you to see and hear. A lot of hosts do this. I may have done it. I'm not doing it now. I'm trying to be thoroughly honest. Let's continue.
Right. Oh, shit. Hold on. Oh, shit. Hey, it's Chris.
That is Chris number 418. What? 419? I get my Chris's confused. That is Chris number 419. Right above me, with the big beard. What was that? TCTBNL parentheses Chris. 419. Sorry, yeah, 419.
I know that guy. I know.
Oh, and Jeff knows that guy. I've seen him on panel once or twice.
That guy. I know that guy. I know that guy. Sorry.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Oh, by the way, the green ogre, whatever that is, over my face, he's not trying, to be fair, he's not trying to make me look like some kind of cartoonish whatever that is. Jeff has a fear that other content creators, which I don't think Chris number 419, I don't think he's worried about that Chris privacy striking them. A lot of these YouTube content creators are trying to strike each other for showing images. And right now, Jeff is living in fear that I'm going to strike him for showing my image. No. I'm very much on record for anything I put on my channel. You can reuse. We're having a little bit of kerfluffle with the union, the artists union, who say some of their creations cannot. As a channel, I say you can. As the content, I warn you, if you reshare content from my channel, a lot of the stuff that I do put on my channel is copyrighted. That's part of the freedom of not being monetized, not owing your soul to the company's store. So no, he's not trying to make me look like a meanie, greeny, ugly monster. He's just trying to protect himself from some kind of copyright or privacy strike. That's what happens when you live in fear. Let's continue.
Handy. That's all I got handy. Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
4 months of concurrent service and having received something other than a dishonorable discharge. 4 months of...
That's all I got handy. Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
24 months of concurrent service and having received something other than a dishonorable discharge. We'll give you veteran status. Well done again, Finkel.
I am the greatest. I'm kidding. And that is a fact. I am indeed the greatest.
And as far as Chris goes, Chris, I didn't know who you were until that day. Maybe I
GS, that's Chris number 418. Oh, sorry, 419.
interacted with a random message in my chat, and it's the typical F3 question.
Oh, hold on, I gotta go back.
What do you got to go back for,
What was
Chris?
he like?
Alf?
Towards me. So after a point, I just had it. And I asked you about what I heard. Because I've always been taught, if you hear something from somebody else, go to the person, talk to the person, and get the truth.
It's a good process. Yeah. Yeah, it's best just to talk things out.
Like, he's just, like, doing what Todd does, redacted. He's, like, just fucking, like, over-exaggerating. But...
Who said he wasn't a vet? Redacted is asking the question, who said he wasn't a vet? And Jeff is reading the chat and answering the question. Yes, I'm not trying to hide or make it look like Jeff just said that. He's reading the chat and he's answering the question. The question is, who said he wasn't a vet? Who said who wasn't a vet? Let's continue.
At one point in time, like, someone, I'm sure, said that, right? Like, but that's...
If you're talking about Todd not being a vet, yes. You said it. Yes. Stone Vet said it. Yes. I may have said it at one point. It didn't take me long to realize, no, this guy is a vet. I didn't understand everything he said, but he's a vet. He's a combat vet. He's a wounded vet. He is a disabled and retired vet.
It's their thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure it was said at one point in time.
Yes, you said it at one point in time. If that's what we're talking about. I'm not really sure the full context of the question or the answer.
And that spiraled everything out of control from that point.
Everything spirals out of control here on the Boob Tube because people love us some drama.
On. I don't know when it's being alleged that I threatened you. I'm hearing this left and right. I really don't watch your content anymore, sir. I have no reason to.
Cool. By the way, Finkel, you're correct. 24 hours of, or 24 months of concurrent service and having received something other than a dishonorable discharge. We'll give you veteran status. Well,
who fucking, like, who cares? But again, that's...
Who cares? Who cares? We've been over this. You, me, Stone Vet, G2. A lot of veterans who question Todd's integrity on his story. Who cares? A lot of us who mocked Fraud at Wrangler. Who cares? We've had this discussion many times before. Maybe you don't remember. Maybe you got a memory like mine. Not perfect, not clear. Who cares? Okay, the discussions around what it takes to be considered a veteran by the Veterans Administration when we were all covering Fraud at Wrangler. Yeah. It takes 24 months and a not dishonorable discharge And there are extenuating circumstances. Had Frederick Wrangler been permanently disabled in basic training, he would have qualified. We've even had discussion about what services. You're not really serving until you've completed your training and gone to a unit. And now you're applying that training and actually serving. And then we've had split discussions about, well, in basic training, you serve other basic trainees when you do your KP week or you do police call. Okay. Service to the nation starts when you've graduated your training and you're in a unit and performing your duties. We've had this discussion many times before. Who cares? Well, right now, at this moment when Jeff is playing this, he cares enough to take it out of context and make it look like something that it's not.
But I can't see that.
Remember that guy? Okay.
There are exceptions to the rule as well, you dumb fuck.
There are exceptions to the rule, as pointed out by Frederick Wrangler as he started to come out about his 70-mile-per-hour Humvee lie, the broken leg, the broken labia. Yes, sir. Yes, top. We've discussed those extenuating circumstances, but that's neither here nor there. Alf is painting a picture for his audience to see and hear something other than what it is.
Like, I like, okay, congratulations. Oh, you're a veteran. Like,
No. See, now you're making it sound like that maybe Todd did less than 24 months and he had extenuating circumstances. That's not the case here. Now you're trying to make it look like somebody of less than 24 months is being disputed for having a veteran status. That's not the case here. This conversation is clipped out of context, just like so many are.
you know how many veterans are in prison right now for like just horrible shit? Like,
well, what the fuck does that got to do with anything? Yeah, there's good veterans and there's bad veterans. There's good people who never served and there's bad people who never served. There's good people who and bad people who served in ways other than in military uniform. He's painting a picture for his audience.
just stuff that they can't go to Gen Pop for? Like, are you serious?
Are you serious? You're really going to do this? The internet's forever, my man.
And to like wave that around as like some type of anything other than the fact that like, hey, you were for the.
So by now, if you only watch Jeff and you don't watch these other video channels like mine or GS's, I don't know if Chris number 419, how about Chris Ryder? Now you see and hear what you want to see and hear. Someone who's either falsely claiming or sticking to something less than 24 months, or maybe he's picking on somebody else who has less than 24 months who actually qualified for veteran status. Jeff acts like he's white knighting for other veterans, but not all other veterans, because there's bad veterans too. He's painting a picture that's not accurate.
For the most part, able to like listen and be told what the fuck to do, where to be.
Now he's doing the, remember I said Ruff and Alf were on the same level? Said that a while ago? Yeah. Ruff and Alf are on the same level. Ruff thinks that if you're a veteran, that you only know how to do and say what you've been told to do and say. Staff Sergeant Appleby thinks so too. Now, motherfucker, make it to Staff Sergeant not once, but twice, at least according to his story. He went through the ranks from private eat nothing to Staff Sergeant, got busted, and did something to re-earn his Staff Sergeant. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't give a fuck, but that's his story. But that's what Ruff says. Ruff has never served in military uniform, and he thinks that if you're a veteran, you don't know how to think for yourself. Apparently, if you're a staff sergeant MP who actually never did MP shit, you also think that you only do and say what you're told to do. Wow, staff sergeant. I mean, come on, man. Did you not lead troops as a staff sergeant? I fucking did it as a corporal. The reason I did it as a corporal is I did it as a specialist. Yeah, I was told some things what to think and do, and other things I made decisions. Did a staff sergeant twice not make decisions? Or is he really is on the same level as Ruff? Yeah, there are bad veterans out there. There are veterans out there who really don't deserve, well, hey, the VA says you did your 24 months. You're good.
And what to be wearing when you fucking had to be there. Congrats.
Yeah, I when I was a corporal and buck sergeant, yeah, I had to tell my privates to change their socks, when to go on sick call, when to get their pay shit corrected. Yeah, we had to tell people under us what to do and say, and people above us had to tell us what to do and say, or how to. Yeah. How do you make staff sergeant without ever having any leadership experience? Now I get it. He made staff sergeant not once but twice, and I tried to appeal to his staff sergeant training, POC, BNOC, possibly ANOC. I quoted some stuff out of the FMs, and he was like, "What? I don't give a fuck about military service." Okay, why do I know you made staff sergeant twice? Why do I know you have prestigious awards? Because you don't give a fuck about your military service.
Congratulations, sir. Like, other than that, like, what you got, buddy?
Well done again, Finkel.
I am the greatest. I'm kidding.
And as far as Chris goes, Chris, I didn't know who you were until that.
I think I paused it here so that I can make commentary. I should have used the free beer thing like Muckster.
Fucking water, and you think this shit's fucking funny? It ain't funny to me. When we had a Kazovac fucking event, and we happened to be on FOB when it came in the middle of the.
Okay, what GS is doing, and I've possibly incorrectly diagnosed him as having PTSD. He's never been diagnosed with PTSD. So that's just a judgment thing when I say he's got PTSD. He's had something in his past happened, and he has a certain kind of reaction to it when it gets brought up, whether he brought it up or something triggers him into the memory. It's traumatic. And we veterans usually understand that different people have different levels of reaction to trauma. And we do all have some kind of trauma, even if it's a simple. I mean, come on, in my PTSD group therapy and counseling, we learned that all humans have trauma. When you are born, when you come out of the birth cavity and you go from that nice, cozy, warm, weightless, never being hungry, and boom, now you're out here in this cold environment and there's bright lights and languages you don't understand. That is trauma. Is it PTSD triggering trauma? No, but every human being goes through it. If you talk to a nice recruiter and went through a nice MEP station and got talked into a career by a nice career counselor, and you get on a bus and everyone's nice to you, and all of a sudden the bus stops, the doors open, and you got these people in the round brown hats screaming at you, and you have to get your duffel bags and all. You have 3 minutes to get off this bus, and one of them's already. Yeah. It's a type of experience. It's and in a lot of cases it's trauma. Now drill sergeants are dropping you and making you do push-ups and screaming and yelling at you all the time. I get it. Rumors are that as time went on, they got nicer and gentler, and I got something about some kind of stress card. What the fuck? Now, allegedly, I don't know for a fact, but I've heard the basic trainees can pull out a stress card when they're getting yelled at, and the drill sergeant has to leave them alone. I don't, that sounds pretty fucking crazy to me, but whether you stepped over body bags and helped people with first aid who were missing parts of their body. Quite often the people died right there in front of you. And then you're fighting fires and you have to go down to a smoke engulfed compartment where you can't see anything. And 37 years later, you still can't accurately remember what you saw there. And then later on, as things calm down, they deliver you chow and what do you call them, mermites. And it's quickly cooked chicken, so it's burnt on the outside and bloody on the inside. And you're confusing that with what you just fucking saw. But it only happens once in your life, 37 years ago. It's a certain kind of trauma. What GS is explaining is a certain kind of trauma that I have no experience with. He's on some kind of forward operating base. Is that what they call it, the FOB? And I want to say Afghanistan. I don't remember if it was Iraq or Afghanistan. And he had an experience that was not pleasant. And he remembers it a certain kind of way, and he has a certain kind of emotional response to it. It's perfectly normal, and veterans who care about veterans should understand that. Guilty? I've tried to make fun of it in the past. But as I process it, and I 10-step it, and I 4-step it, I realize it's fucking wrong. Whether you like the veteran, love the veteran, hate the veteran, that's not shit you make fun of. Let's see how Jeff reacts.
Fucking day. And we had to stack A&A in a Connex. There were so many body bags.
You dumb fuck.
The man is bent over in hysterical laughter. This guy supposedly really has a purple heart. This guy supposedly has really been blown up or near an explosion. And he doubles over in laughter. Okay. That's a fake doubling over and laughing because he actually reviewed this and put it together. He wasn't in that moment surprised and having a natural reaction. That's a rehearsed reaction.
So many body bags.
You dumb fuck.
On behalf of all veterans, whether their trauma is getting yelled at by a drill sergeant or dealing with people dying right before you, or dealing with people that you knew that are now dead, or dealing with incoming mortars, or dealing with being near an explosion. On behalf of all veterans who have experienced that and understand that, Jeff, for that stage hysterical laugh, fuck you.
And the one U.S. casualty was my.
All right, this is the actual discussion that Jeff clipped out of context. That's my real face, and that's Chris 418, 419. Sorry, I lose count. That's Chris number 419 at the bottom. At the top right is GS, and at the bottom right is my good friend, Jess Muxter, who does not agree with me on everything. Just want to point that out. He's not really happy that I try to see things GS's way. He's not happy about that. But that's okay. He's still my, hey, but we're still friends. You know, remember Rapper's Delight? Have you ever gone over to a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good? I think that may be my second rap song I ever heard. All right, continue.
I have no problem abiding by any of those rules, none whatsoever.
Muxer had just given Chris number 419. 419? Yeah, okay. Rules. Before Chris starts, which I don't know from Adam, you don't look familiar to me. Seven Cities says Jeff never said he wasn't a veteran. He said his combat stories were suspicious. Actually, Jeff did early on. Yeah. Remember when Stone Vet first challenged GS to show us your 214 and it'll all be over? Because the stories were far and wide. Was he a Marine? Was he a combat veteran? Was he a basic training dropout like Michael Kaiser? We didn't know. And the stories grew and spun out of control, including with Jeff. And Stone Vet tried to put it all to rest. Just show us your 214. But then the 214 became a derogatory. Show us your 214. Show us your 214. And of course, GS being very typical human being, you're not going to tell me what to show. He eventually did show us his 214. Yes, he was an Army veteran. Yes, he was a combat veteran. Yes, he was wounded, injured, however you want to articulate it. And yes, that did establish him as a wounded combat veteran. None of us really liked that articulation, but they even pulled up the regulation. And when they realized, yeah, he is a combat wounded veteran, according to the VA and the Department of the Army, by regulation, they didn't like that. They moved on. They stopped harping them on about that because they proved themselves wrong. And once they realized that they could prove themselves wrong, others could prove them wrong too. So they kind of like sweep that under the carpet. Actually, back in the days when GS became in our awareness, when we were watching what was Stone Vet, became Fine Fix Finished Productions, and later they separated, and now there's Hill Powered Studios. Jeff did opine, and so did a lot of us, yours truly included. We questioned whether or not he would. See, Jeff, when you inventory yourself and you realize, I was wrong, you have to be over to admit it. And I don't mean I misspoke a few minutes ago. I mean, truly admit it. I was wrong. I fucked up. He was ever a veteran. For a while, people were saying that he claimed he was a Marine. He never did.
Because veterans know other veterans' pain.
Veterans should know other veterans' pain. Chris, I agree with you. Not fully know, but at least understand that what I perceive as pain may be different from what you perceive as pain, from what GS perceives as pain, from what Appleby perceives as pain. And it's the same with all of human nature. Sometimes we veterans think that we deserve that free meal at Denny's or that free parking space at Lowe's. And others who weren't veterans, when they see that, they don't have a problem with it because even others perceive, hey, veterans go through. It's not just veterans. I'm digressing. But you're right, Chris. Veterans usually have a better aptitude for perceiving that this other veteran's going through something. I don't know what it is. I shouldn't diagnose it, but he's going through something. And being a veteran myself, I know that they really are going through something.
And I even said this elsewhere to me, and this is not an attack on Todd. He looks like he's suffering, and he looks because veterans know other veterans' pain. And I even said this elsewhere to me, and this is not an
All right, what am I doing here? Sorry, I'm clipping stuff a few minutes before this, and I forget why I'm kind of bouncing around. Oh, if I remember correctly, I was looking for a chat, and I realized that this was cast to two different channels, so the chat are coming from two different places. So I gave up on the chat search, and I didn't realize I'm still clipping it as we go. I think. I don't have the editing skills that Jeff has. I don't have the editing skills that Muxer and Ariel and Killing Time have. I do suck at it. It's a good thing I don't do it for a living, isn't it, Jeff? Shiz happens. Chris is a queef in the breeze. I don't get why everyone obsesses about him. At this point, I don't know which Chris she's talking about, and that's why I come up with the joke with the Chris numbers. I really don't know if Chris is 418 or 419, or that Chris Ryder is 23. That's a joke. How long did I do this chat search? By the way, chats after you do a stream, once the stream closes, YouTube takes that chat away. I don't know the technology or why, but if you watch it right away, you don't see the chat. I'm not turning chat on and off, Jeff. It takes a while for it to populate. The longer the live stream was, the longer it takes for the chat to populate. If you don't believe me, right after this premiere stops, close it out, go back in, see if you can find the chat right after it. Check again in 4 hours, check again in 12 hours, check again the next day. Eventually the chat populates. And it's not me turning it on and off. It's just, if you're a professional YouTuber, that is, if you YouTube for money, you think you know that. Should I fast forward a little bit? Skip forward a little bit more. Yeah, I really screwed something up in my editing and my recording. Actually, I'm not really doing editing. I'm simply clipping. And no, Jeff, when GS replays Chris Ryder's actual video, he's not filtering Chris Ryder's face. If Chris Ryder's face is filtered, it's being done on Chris Ryder's end. Professional editing my ass. If you're going to do something for money, do it professionally, If you're going to do something for fun like me, do it amateurly, which I do. Why, how long did I do this for? Okay, apparently I fucked up the, apparently I muted this. Okay. It's muted. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I really do suck at the editing. I do remember I closed the the clipping, repeating Jeff's little bullshit, fakey, hysterical laugh, laughing at other veterans who experience an emotional situation. I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe I have CPTSD if I'd experienced what Todd did after my experience in the Persian Gulf. Yeah. But yeah, we're just gonna laugh hysterically, rehearsed over and over again. And damn this audio thing. All right, I screwed it up. But that's okay. You can go back to
It's on there. I'll have to redact that.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
I didn't know who you
had it.
Go back to.
And I asked you about what I heard.
Redacted. I'm sure.
Control from that.
Finkel, you're correct. Well,
who fucking as well, you dumb fuck. Hey, congratulations, bullshit. Just and to wave that around as some type of anything other than the fact that where to be and what you got, buddy.
Well done again, Finkel.
I am the greatest. All right, let's get into it. Where is it?
Fob, when it came in the middle of the fucking day, and we had to stack A&A in a Connex. There were so many body bags.
You dumb fuck.
Yeah, that's how we react to other veterans going through any kind of, fuck you. I do remember what I'm doing here. Jeff is literally playing pocketball. There, yeah, look at that reach. Oh, yeah. Yeah. While you're watching GS or me or Chris 419, you're playing some pocket pool there. What the fuck? I get it. You're not getting laid. Masturbation takes over. Don't do it on live stream. Look at that. He's playing pocket pool.
But I can't see the...
Well, you see what you want to see. Tell me, did you ever see dinosaur?
No.
Well, did you ever see pterodactyl?
No.
Well, did you ever want to see a pterodactyl?
I guess not.
Well, that's it. You see what you want to see, and you hear what you want to hear.
But I can't see...
Now, I'm your host, and I want you to see and hear Jeff playing pocket pool. Is he really playing pocket pool? I don't know. Maybe he's looking for his last 25 cents. He's digging deep in the pocket. Who knows? Maybe he's just adjusting his maxi pad. I don't know. You decide. What's he doing digging in his pocket, reaching towards his crotch? You decide. You see and hear what you want to see and hear. I am going to drop that and remove it. And I'm going to share a tab. Share screen. Let's bring it up. All right. The matter of honesty. This is one of the co-founders writing of AA, and he talks about honesty. And all you have to do is Google search Bill W. Matter of Honesty, and you can find this. YouTubers, including myself, when you place something out of context to get a different appearance of what it really is, you're a fucking liar. When you call yourself David Finkel when your real name is, you're a fucking liar. Yeah. I would suggest, whether you're an alcoholic or not, take alcoholism out of the question and just Google Matter of Honesty, Bill W. You'll find this, read it, learn it, love it. We can all do better, especially you, Chris number 23, for public safety, or you, Jeff Appleby, or hell, I don't know if you're watching, the guy who's on Jeff Appleby's level with the dishonesty, John Scarborough's bitch, according to his own pull-up. John Scarborough owns it, and you're his bitch. And that's honest. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, read this shit. I'm not going to read it to you right now. I'm tired. I'm going to end recording. Cheerio, motherfuckers. Cheerio.